Hey everyone, I'm Tim Nash and welcome back to the Shop Dropcast, the podcast by Shop Drop Daily, the go-to destination for the most exciting branded IRL concepts from all around the world. If you've been following, you know this isn't just a recap of the latest activations. This is where we dig deep, where we try to understand why brands are doing what they're doing, what it says about the future of retail, and how culture, design, and storytelling intersect. Over the last few weeks, I've been tracking some of the most imaginative activations around the world. And I have to say, weeks 31, 32, 33, and 34 of drops have been a wild mix. Protein Sephora Islands in Bodrum, immersive toy wonderlands in Bangkok, Dior Ateliers in Seoul, and Topshop's cultural return to liberty in London. 20 activations in total, each different, each inspiring, but all pointing to the same bigger story. When I step back and look at everything that's happening in retail right now, a few big themes really stand out. The first is immersive escapism. Consumers aren't just shopping. They're looking for experiences that feel like a break from everyday life. Retail is becoming kind of mini vacation, a chance to step into another world, even if it's just for a few minutes. Alongside that, we're seeing a strong pull towards whimsy and nostalgia. It's not just about products anymore, it's about sparking emotion and memory. When a brand taps into those deeper layers of storytelling, the connection it creates is far stronger than anything a product on its own can achieve. Another huge driver is participation and play. People don't want to just watch, they want to do. They want to interact, move, create, and share the experience with others. This sense of co-experience is quickly becoming one of the most powerful ways to build loyalty. We're also seeing the lines blur between retail and hospitality. Cafes, lounges, and multi-sensory hubs becoming part of the retail mix, transforming stores into lifestyle spaces where people linger, connect, and return again and again. And finally, there's the rise of culture, community, and collectability. The most exciting retail concepts today aren't just places to shop, they're ecosystems. They bring together fandom, culture, and the thrill of collectability, creating spaces that feel more like cultural landmarks than stores. Together, these shifts signal a fundamental redefinition of what retail means, moving away from transaction and towards transformation. And it's through this lens that we'll explore all of the activations in this episode of the Shop Dropcast. The real question is, are they just one-off spectacles? Or are they showing us how retail will evolve over the next decade? I'd definitely argue it's very much the latter. And by the end of this episode, I hope you see why. Let's kick things off then with escapism. Because honestly, if there's one thing that draws people into physical retail today, it's the promise of stepping into another world. A momentary getaway from the everyday. Take Sephora's Summer Vibes activation in Bodrum. Picture a floating island in the Aegean Sea. Part beauty playground, part mirage. Totally impractical, but completely unforgettable. And that's the point. Retail here isn't about transactions, it's theatre. Emotional experiences like this drive memory, and memory drives loyalty. According to research, experiences that evoke emotion can significantly increase brand recall and purchase intent, which is exactly what Sephora is doing here. Compare that to Longchamp's Beach Club in Forte di Marmi. No islands, no spectacle, just subtle, refined storytelling. Signature green everywhere, monogrammed cabin keys, branded backgammon boards. It's whispering rather than shouting. And that's the insight. Scale isn't always the answer. Sometimes subtlety resonates more deeply with your audience. And then there's Lacoste's French Wave in Bali, a Riviera-inspired takeover with crocodile-shaped popsicles and a 6-metre crocodile sculpture hand-woven by local artisans. What's fascinating is how it blends global identity with local craft. Authentic cultural integration drives engagement and shareability in ways that a generic activation never could. From escapism, let's move into whimsy and nostalgia, because some of the most powerful activations aren't about scale or spectacle, but about feeling. Baby Dior's Diorling windows are a great example. Handcrafted clay guitars, toy-like buses, pastel mannequins inspired by 1960s London childhoods. Windows here become portals into imagination. This is a reminder that retail is emotional storytelling as much as it is commerce. Then there's Topshop at Liberty. Think about it. Oxford Circus, in-store DJs, that first pair of jeans that somehow felt like identity. Well, now Topshop is reborn in Liberty in London, creating a narrative homecoming. Nostalgia is most effective when it's culturally grounded, not just aesthetic. And this one nails that balance. And ZARA's Butterbear Academy in Shanghai? 3 floors of mascots, interactive desks, gamified runways, and a rooftop playground. Immersive storytelling meets play and interactivity. And here's a stat to note. Dwell time in interactive retail spaces can increase purchase intent by up to 30%. That's huge. Retail isn't just a shop floor anymore. It's a narrative-led environment. So now let's pivot to art. Retail and art are converging and it's strategic, not just Insta-friendly. Takashi Murakami's Ohana Hatake at Selfridges, candy-coloured flower fields, wearable art, collectible fashion. Pop-ups like this are cultural destination. People come to be inspired, not just to buy. The trend? Retail spaces are increasingly cultural touchpoints, not just transaction points. Amouage at Galeries Lafayette transformed the atrium into a Omani desert. Ruby red earth, fiery lighting, brutalist curves. The physical space amplified the product. In this case, perfume. Multisensory experiences can really heighten perceived value and deepen emotional resonance. Verdi's gift shop at Dover Street Market shows a different approach. Rapid drops, oversized plushies, personal stories. Fast, fresh, shareable, yet deeply human. The insight here is clear that retail is becoming digital culture, but in 3 dimensions. Participation is one of the biggest shifts right now. Consumers don't just want to see, they want to do. Nike and Lego at Fanatics Fest is a prime example. Lego courts, immersive playgrounds, interactive action zones. Visitors physically engage with the brand. Doing creates memory, and memory drives loyalty. Passive observation just doesn't cut it anymore. Lacoste Champs-Élysées installation took a more refined approach. A life-size interactive tree, crocodile sculpture and tennis courts integrated into nature. Elegant, participatory and visually striking. The lesson? Play doesn't have to be chaotic to be effective. Nike running at Nordstrom, New York is simpler but equally powerful. Group runs, coaching workshops, recovery sessions. Consistent community programming builds trust and engagement over time. Sometimes reliability beats spectacle. Tiffany Co at the US Open, well, this was AI selfies, diamond-studded rackets, theatrical spectacle. Flamboyant, sure, but it leans into emotion, prestige and performance. The trend is clear. Retail activations are shifting from product-led to experience-led. The next big trend, hospitality integration. Consumers want spaces that engage all senses, multi-sensory experiences that merge retail, lifestyle and culture. Acqua de Parma's Caffettino in Dubai is a perfect case. Lemon-shaped decor, espresso rituals, gelato carts. The fragrance brand extended into taste, touch and ritual. Multi-sensory experiences build memory, brand love and affinity. Lacoste at the Plaza reimagined afternoon tea as tennis theatre. Playful, cheeky and completely on brand. Hospitality doesn't need to be conventional to be effective. Rolex in East Hampton took a more refined approach, transforming a historic building into a sanctuary of craft. Retail here becomes a vehicle for storytelling, cultural stewardship and authenticity. It's about values and legacy as much as product. Finally, let's talk about culture, community and collectability, trends that are increasingly central to retail strategy. PopMart in Bangkok isn't just a store. Massive molly figures, interactive zones, cafes and collectibles make it a cultural ecosystem. Fans come to experience, socialise and immerse themselves in the brand's universe. Space NK in London embraces chaos, playfulness and immediacy. Pick and mix, fast-paced Gen Z-focused design. Sometimes noise sells as much as calm. Engagement is about energy and interactivity, not just product. And Adidas Originals in Cairo demonstrates localization done right. Futuristic facade, glowing sneaker walls, subtle local design cues. Representation matters. Brands that integrate local culture while maintaining global identity create experiences that are meaningful, relevant, and memorable. So what's the bigger picture from all of these activation? Well, retail isn't about transaction anymore. It's about transformation. And when you look at the brands that are really winning right now, you start to see some clear pattern emerging. They're the ones who know how to tap into emotion, whether that's nostalgia, a sense of whimsy, or full-on sensory immersion. It's about creating a feeling that lingers long after the purchase. They're also the ones who invite participation and play, because, let's be honest, memory is made through action. When people get to interact, co-create, and move within a space, the experience sticks in a way that passive observation just can't match. The strongest brands also balance global identity with local culture. They manage to stay true to who they are while still adapting to the nuances of each place, which makes the experience both feel authentic and highly shareable. And we can't ignore the way hospitality and lifestyle are merging with retail. Stores are becoming multi-sensory hubs, places where you don't just shop, but you also relax, connect, and engage with the brand on a much deeper level. Finally, the real leaders are thinking beyond commerce altogether. They're building ecosystems of culture, community, and collectability. Spaces that feel alive, that people want to return to, not just for a product, but to be part of something bigger. Put simply, the future of retail belongs to those who create meaning, not just transactions. And here's a key insight. The activations we'll remember in 10 years aren't just the ones that look good on Instagram. They're the ones that made us feel, play, connect, and belong. Those are the moments that drive long-time loyalty and cultural relevance. So whether it's a floating beauty island in the Aegean, a playful rooftop academy in Shanghai, or a carefully crafted tea experience in New York, the common thread is clear. Experience is the new product. If you want to dive even deeper into these activations and explore hundreds more, head over to shopdropdaily.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn for daily inspiration. And for behind-the-scenes stories, check out SDD and Me, where we speak to the people bringing these activations to life. The latest conversation is with TDM Space founder Tom Morgan on photographing the world's boldest brands. From Soho to Shibuya, Tom captures retail energy, detail, and atmosphere like few others. A perfect reminder that every great activation is much about story as it is about design. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, do make sure to hit follow wherever you're listening. It really does help. As always, stay curious, stay creative, and I'll catch you on the next episode.